You have to be really intentional about putting a team together.
I was in!
Crawled out of the pile and just started screaming.
How good is Joey Bosa?
Herbert, rolling, looking, throwing, end zone, touchdown! It's intercepted. Derwin James. Derwin was there.
You got to be on a mission every day in the NFL. But even more than that, you got to be on a mission together.
Welcome to another episode of Chargers Unleashed. Thank you so much for joining us. Dan Wolkenstein here from the LA Football Network, along with podcasts everywhere. You can also find us on YouTube and Patreon and all major social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. And let me tell you, you have incredible instincts because we have an amazing show lined up today. We've got a Wildcat in the house. Pride of Sugar Land, Texas, the leg squat hype man out of Northwestern, lucky number 13 overall of the 2021 NFL Draft, chosen by your Los Angeles Chargers, and the protector of Justin Herbert's blind side. Without further ado, number 70 on the jersey, but number 1 in the hopes for all Chargers fans in round 1 of the NFL Draft. Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater is a man of the people and a father of dragons. Rashawn joins us on Chargers Unleashed. Rashawn, we're so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Now, we're going to get into a ton of topics on this show, but first and foremost, how are you doing? How's the family? I know COVID's been crazy this last year. Like, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thankfully, me and the family all fully vaccinated. None of us ended up, well, a couple of us got it, but no one, had it bad. So from that standpoint, it's been all good. And, everyone's doing their thing, working. So they're doing good. Thanks for asking.
Good. Now we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about minicamp. We'll talk about the offensive line, the coaching staff, week 1 versus Washington. And of course, we'll get into some rapid fire questions. But before we get into any of all of that, first and foremost, congrats on the recent engagement. I mean, with that, moving out to LA, joining a new team, I'm sure you're knee deep in wedding planning. The Slater household must be quite busy these days, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely been a busy year, which is odd because, at first it was like, okay, we're quarantined, we're all staying at home, but it ended up being like the most eventful year of my life so far. So it's going good, though. I got a lot of people helping out.
Good. And now, let's see. You grew up in Texas, then you went to Illinois at Northwestern, and then you move across the country to LA. Like, how has the move been? Have you had a chance to get around and like explore the city?
A little bit, yeah. So we've been pretty busy here at football, especially being a rookie. Like, we stay a little bit later than everyone. So from that standpoint, I've been at the facility a lot, but I've gotten a chance to explore too, and I've loved it. This is by far the best weather I've been in. Like, I was from Houston, which is like the extreme hot heat and humidity, and then Chicago with like the winters. And so like this is just like, it's amazing. It's like beautiful outside. It's like room temperature though at the same time. Like, I love it.
Have you had a chance to go house shopping yet?
No, not yet, but looking forward to it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, so you had a chance to see Justin Herbert sling it around, Bosa and James and crew on defense. What are some of the main takeaways you've had so far from minicamp?
It's been really good. I'd say the biggest takeaways have been just, the mental processing at this level is so much different. Like, you're responsible for seeing more and being able to react quicker. And so the first couple of days, my head was swimming a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. But what's really helped is like, as we went through OTAs, like more and more of the vets started showing up. And then we had that level of communication where, like that makes sense. But yeah, definitely just the amount of mental processing that goes into it, because we haven't been doing anything like full speed or like crazy hitting or anything. It's pretty much mostly been mental to this point.
Has that been, speaking of that, like with the mental aspect versus everything being physical, like I know that's new and that's not really that common in the NFL, probably not in college either. What has that transition been like? What's that experience been like, just kind of working mentally versus more physically?
I think it's good because, especially with me, I didn't play football last season, but I was training a lot. And so I've been working so much on my footwork and stuff, but I haven't, been in a playbook or like been applying, scheme to a defense. And so for me, that mental refresher has been big time. So I'm really thankful for it, actually.
Good. Now, there's so much talent in the NFL and on this team, and it's easy to forget that under the helmets are humans with a story and adversity and things that motivate them and trouble them. For you, like what are some of your biggest motivators, or like what is your why behind putting in all this work every day?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, there's a lot of different reasons. I think when I first got started in football, which is like my sophomore year of high school, is when I really started to like pursue it. It was really just it bothered me that there was kids getting offers in high school and I wasn't. And so like for me, it's just like a chip on my shoulder. Like, I put in all this work and, I play it too and I practice hard. And like, so why am I not getting that recognition? And so like throughout my career, that's always just kind of been my fuel. Like I want to prove who I am and showcase that. And that's still kind of holding true today.
So it's that chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, for sure.
Got it. Now we've seen several rookies on this team sign their rookie contracts. We actually had fellow rookie Asante Samuel, Chris Rumph on the show, reflect on that moment. Now, I have to ask, everyone's been clamoring. Everyone's been waiting to see you sign the dotted line. When do you foresee your contract actually being completed? But also, equally as important, what do you think that moment will feel like when you finally put that pen to paper with this team?
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later. I'd like to get it done as soon as possible. But I think that moment, it's all been becoming real before my eyes. Like I've been in the building working, as if it was signed a long time ago, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I think that moment is definitely going to be special. Just like finally making it official and seeing like all the work I put in so far paying off. My family was there for the draft, and that was amazing. I wish they could be there for that too.
Well, maybe I'll have to FaceTime them in or something, huh?
Yeah. That's good.
Now, we had Chris Rumph on the show a while back, and he told us about some rookie homework assignments, and he had one on the state bird. So a couple questions. One, how did he do with his homework? And what can you tell us about your rookie homework assignment?
Yeah, I heard that that edge room he's in gets a little wild with their rookie assignments. Thankfully, I've paid for a couple of meals out here, but I haven't had to write any essays or anything like that. So, hopefully the vets aren't watching this and getting any ideas. No.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Now, your father, Reggie, was a professional basketball player, so you're no stranger to the life of a professional athlete. What lessons have you learned from your dad, either on or off the field, that may have helped you the most during your journey to the NFL?
He's been amazing because ever since I was a little kid, I never watched him play basketball. He had retired by the time I was like, when I was 2 years old. So I don't remember any of it. But, he's always like dragged me into his computer and made me like watch his tapes and like stuff like that. So I kind of, and then like growing up, I didn't know why he was doing it, but he'd always pull me aside and just like go on these long kind of speeches about what it means to be a professional and, like how he was able to get there. And so at the time, I was like that. I'm just trying to play video games right now. Like, what are you talking about? But like, I'm still listening though. And I'm really kind of starting to see like, he's been telling me these things for years. And now I have, other guys telling me the same stuff. I'm like, well, this is my first time hearing that. And I think subconsciously, even if I was more worried about, like beating the level in Mario or whatever, like that was really like kind of shaping who I am and how I kind of see things. So it's been really helpful.
That's awesome. We're talking to Rashawn Slater, number 70, and your starting left tackle for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this offensive line looks quite different this year. Your teammates Matt Filer, Corey Linsley, Ode Abushe, Brian Balaga. As arguably the top offensive lineman in this draft, it seems like you landed with a group that has far more experience than most top tackles go in the draft. What have you learned so far in this short period of time with the group that maybe you probably wouldn't have been able to get if you were taken somewhere else?
Yeah, I think first of all, like when I saw who I was going to, I already knew going into the draft the Chargers had a big offseason with the O-line. So I was looking forward to being around those guys. And really it's just like sprinkles of wisdom. Like after every single day, talking to guys in the locker room, talking to like Brian, for example, he'll give me tips on what he's seeing. So being able to get that feedback, not only from Frank, our O-line coach, but also from Brian, that player's perspective, like it's extremely valuable, like little things, little details. And then also like, it's kind of, I feel like setting the expectation, like setting the tone for me, the way Corey is, for example, in the O-line room, that guy's a genius. Like he knows football inside and out. You can tell he's been playing it for a long time. And so like the level of mental, the way they talk is just like, wow, like I got a long way to go as far as just like understanding the game and like reading defenses. Like those guys are really geniuses. And so I love it. I mean, it's just exposing to me more and more stuff.
You hear it all the time in football locker rooms, like iron sharpening iron. And it seems like, you got in a good position where you're a great star coming out of college, but you're also not going to be starstruck, and you're about to be getting in a lot of work and a lot of coaching. Mm-hmm. You've previously spoken about that, actually. You talked about like taking the coaching and being prideful on being coachable and accepting feedback.
Yeah.
Like, talk about the experience about learning from Frank and Sean, and what are the major areas you're looking to focus on as we kind of head into training camp now for dark in the next few weeks, but training camp in a few weeks?
Yeah, I think, we've definitely talked about some stuff, because like, for example, we haven't been able to do anything with pads on. And so everything we've done essentially has been like full speed up to the point of contact. And so I haven't been able to work like my hands or my striking. And so that's been a focus for sure, like punch timing and stuff like that. And then also just, continue to get comfortable with the playbook. So there's no hesitation. I can just, run off the ball and do what we do.
We got a couple questions left here for Rashawn Slater. Then we're going to get in some fun rapid fire questions. Now, Rashawn, Theo Riddick is on record stating you'll be the first offensive lineman in this year's draft to be an All-Pro, saying it will happen in like 2 years. Take us inside the huddle into the helmet of a starting left tackle of your caliber, approaching a snap. Like, what is your mindset going into a play? How do you diagnose a defense? How do you attack it? Like, what are the things you look for?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I was just talking to Frank about this morning. But basically, I want to see the defense, and I have certain things I'm looking for. But at the same time, I'm not going to be, what is it, paralysis by analysis? I'm not trying to read like, is this guy like here or here? Like, I don't look at it too closely. But at the same time, like, there are certain indications you can get. So as I approach the line of scrimmage, like, I'm trying to see what personnel's in as they line up. What kind of stances are they in? Are they giving anything away? And then maybe like, okay, is the nickel stacked by a safety? So like minor stuff like that can just give me some indication of what might be coming. But at the same time, really just thinking about my assignment and my technique. That way I can just go fast.
Got it. Now, tons of talk about your performance against Chase Young and AJ Epinesa back in college. Week 1 in NFL, no coincidence. You're going up against, Chase Young. NFL Week 1 is going to be here before you know it. Talk to us about like what you're looking forward to with your first game. Have you started thinking about your matchup versus Washington and going up against Chase Young?
Yeah, for sure. When I saw the schedule, I was really excited. Not only, this is the NFL now. Like, Chase Young's a great player, obviously, but what is it? Chase Young, Frank Clark, Myles Garrett. Like every single week, you've just got a complete stud, and so that part of it's exciting to me, and I'm excited for that challenge. But yeah, it's all good. It's good stuff.
Cool. Now, you got a quarterback, Justin Herbert, a little bit different than your quarterback back in college. What are some of the takeaways that you've seen from the quarterback? What are you excited for this year?
I'm extremely excited. Blocking for like the offensive rookie of the year last year. That's pretty exciting stuff as an O-lineman, because we're both young. We're coming in here, a year apart, but almost together, and we're gonna have a chance to like really grow and mature together as professionals. So that's gonna be really cool, and it just takes stress off of us as O-line, knowing that he's gonna be getting the ball out. He's gonna be taking care of business back there.
Totally. And I know. I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Again, same deal. Like, we haven't even been throwing the ball at practice. It's been like so, walk through tempo, but I can't wait for that part too.
It's going to be so much fun. And I'm telling you, I'm sure Justin Herbert is probably thanking his lucky stars that he has you on this offensive line, and the offensive line has gotten beefed up so quickly. All right, let's go into some rapid fire questions. Want to have some fun here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to ask you a few questions right off the bat. I know you have not heard any of these before, so can't wait to hear what your responses are. All right, rapid fire question. Here we go. Typical day of workouts. What does that look like for you?
Here at the facility, or just like during the off season?
At the facility.
At the facility, wake up before I leave my apartment. I'm doing like a mobility routine, ankles and hips, and then I leave, come here, eat breakfast, and then really it's just like we activate together, we work out together. Usually there's some sort of run and then a lift together, and then just recovery later in the day.
We've all heard about Justin's victory brisket. What is Rashawn Slater's victory meal of choice?
Victory meal pizza. It's probably the least nutritious thing you could ever eat after a game, and like our nutritionist would not be happy to hear that, but I love pizza.
What toppings?
I keep it simple, like pepperoni, maybe some jalapeno. You know, if I'm making the pizza for myself, it's just gonna be pretty simple. But if I go to a restaurant, I like Detroit style pizza. So like where the sauce is on top, it's like a cheese all the way to the edge. Like it's amazing.
Oh, now we're talking. All right, so we're gonna keep it on food here for a bit. You're a Texas native. Now you're in California. Both states known for their cuisine. You know, you got your Texas. I got a lot of family in Texas. Texas has barbecue. You got breakfast tacos, Tex-Mex. California now, California burritos, tacos. You know, all the fusion restaurants, Mexican in general. Which state's cuisine are you picking, Texas or California?
I'm gonna have to go with California, only because okay, well, I was in Houston, right? And for me, I'm not like a huge barbecue guy. Like as crazy as that sounds, I just have to be in a really specific mood to eat barbecue. But here, there's so much diversity. Like I like Thai food, Mediterranean food, like all sorts of like mixes, and like you get like I feel like really authentic all of those places here in LA.
Fair. I agree with you. Favorite hobbies outside of football?
Outside of football, enjoying nature. I like fishing, going on walks, playing video games. Probably those are the biggest ones.
Okay. Now, let's go back to draft night or close after. Who was the first Chargers player to call you after you were drafted?
It was Justin. Like even before I got interviews, I looked at my phone. It was really funny. I was after I got picked, there's like before you say hi to your family again, like you celebrate, you take a picture together, and then like you talk to the media for a couple hours. And I was like in between doing stuff, and I looked at my phone. And it's like, hey, Rashawn, this is Justin Herbert. I'm the quarterback for the Chargers. I was like, I know who you are. Like you don't have to say all that, but yeah, it was Justin. It was funny.
That's funny. Did he give you any advice or anything to take in that night?
He just said, enjoy it and let's get to work.
There you go. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Now, let's have some fun here. You're looking for a fun night out. Your friends offer you two options. You have to choose one of them. You're either going to go karaoke or line dancing. Which one are you taking?
I can't sing and I can't dance, so that's a really bad situation for me. But I'll probably choose the line dancing. Get a work in while I go.
I think we have some homework for you with your offensive lineman. That sounds like a fun date night.
Oh yeah.
All right. When you do sign your contract, what is the first purchase you're looking forward to making?
Oh man, probably a car for myself, like a truck. In high school, I had a truck and didn't take it to school, and so it got my parents just sold it. I mean, they paid for it, but I've always kind of looked forward to getting my own truck again. So probably that.
There you go. We are rounding out the rapid fire. Just a couple more here with Rashawn Slater, your first round pick for the Chargers. Madden 22 coming out soon. Lots of people hyping that up. I'm sure there's going to be lots of talk about player ratings. Last year, you saw the first few tackles off the board. I think they got like low 70s, which is insane. You're on record predicting you should get a 74. So question for you. What do you foresee your Madden rating being at the end of the year, week 18?
Oh, so it changes throughout the year? I didn't even know that. I don't know, man. I'd love to see. I'm excited for the journey. I mean, obviously, I want to see it rise. I want to play really well and earn that. I don't even know what's like an all-pro rating. Maybe like high 80s, low 90s.
I mean, I think Brian Bulaga, I want to say, was like 89. I think this year.
Well, yeah, I want to be right up there. I want to earn that.
There you go. Okay. Now, last question for you: best hair on the team.
Best hair on the team. Probably. Sheesh. I mean, obviously Justin's going to be the easiest choice, but I'm trying to think of someone a little more unknown. Brendan Hymas, the other rookie O lineman, from Nebraska. He's got some good hair. Orange hair, really full head of hair. So he's a sleeper for sure.
We had Chris Rumpf. Not bad either.
Oh yeah, Chris. Yeah, he's got a full head of hair. I wish I could borrow some of that.
You could do it. I have faith. Hey, Rashawn. All right, you are officially off the hot seat. No longer have to worry about it. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. I know this has been a whirlwind for you the last month or so. We've got about a month before training camp starts. What are you going to be up to these next few weeks? Are you doing anything fun with the fiance?
Yeah, we're going to go on like a short 3-day vacation to Hawaii, and then after that, I'll be back in Dallas with Duke Manyweather. He's my kind of outside of here O-line coach in Dallas, and so just working with him this last month and getting ready to go.
Oh, there you go. What part of Hawaii are you going to?
Oh man, I don't even know this stuff. Maui. I think it's Maui. Yeah.
Oh, Maui. Excellent spot. Make sure you check out Monkey Pod. They have amazing Mai Tais. You will not be disappointed.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely write that down.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much, Rashawn. I can't wait to see you ball out this year with the rest of the offensive line and these Chargers. This is going to be a fun year. You're going to crush it. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find Rashawn Slater on Twitter at RDSL8R and on Instagram, RDSL8R. Mm-hmm. Rashawn, thank you so much for joining us. Have a blast. Enjoy Maui. I can't wait to see you on the show next. All right, don't be a stranger. You're a friend of the show anytime.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you having me. Take care.
Hey, thank you. Well, that's going to wrap things up for us on Chargers Unleashed. Special shout out and thank you again to Rashawn Slater for joining us on Chargers Unleashed. You are welcome anytime. Hope you have a blast in Maui, and congrats again on the engagement. You can find us on Twitter at LAC_Unleashed. My co-host, the wonderful Jake Hefner at Jake T. Hefner. Myself at Chargers Homer. Be sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. You can find us everywhere on social media. Thank you so much for joining us. We cannot wait to continue this ride with all of you Chargers fans and football fans. But in the meantime, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend, and let's get ready for training camp. Talk to you soon on the next Chargers Unleashed.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater,
Asante Samuel Jr.
Stop! Oh, I'm strapping y'all boys. I can't get it.
Intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. Explosiveness from Eckler. There's Murphy. Boy, he blew that up, didn't he? It is picked off. Nasir Adderley. 50-50 ball is 100%. Mike Williams.
Uchenna Nwosu. And that will end it.